Hey everybody, welcome back to Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. You know me, I'm Mary, your friendly neighborhood preacher teacher. And today we have Mr. Shay come back to speak with us a little bit. Say hello, Danny.
Hello, Danny.
How are you doing? Tell us what's going on.
I am great. It's a great day. It's a little overcast. It's a little cold where we are, but love it.
Maybe I stole all of the sunshine then, because it's been 90 degrees over here.
Well, you are Mary Sunshine, so. Yes.
Well, what's going on over there? What updates you got? What kind of stuff you have going on? You have a retreat coming up?
Yeah, looking really forward to that. I just got back from a 2-week trip, and we went to Chaco Canyon in New Mexico. We went to Ghost Ranch, which I didn't think I'd like to go to, but that's where Georgia O'Keeffe did a lot of her painting. And that place was magical. And then looking at all the cliff dwellings along the way. So it was a cliff dwelling type of trip. And it was just hanging out with the ancestors. It was so powerful, so cool. That was neat. And then come back, and then we're going to go, instead of talking to the rock people, we're going to go talk to the star people up in Mount Shasta and visit the Lemurians and see what they have to add to the mix. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah.
And my retreat is coming back up as well the week after yours, I think. I think yours is the week before mine on June. Is yours this week?
No, it is I should know this.
You're such a busy fella.
Yeah, it might be good. June 25th, 6th, around there.
Okay, so yours is the week after mine. Mine's the 19th through the 22nd, and then yours is directly after that.
Right.
And you're going to be working with all the star people, and I'm working with all the fire. So there's those different elements right there. You're a little cool over on that side with the stars, and I'm a little hot on my side with all the fire.
Woohoo! Yeah.
It's
gonna that sun. Good. It's that sun that you're dealing with. That hotness of the new day sun. That fire energy. That's cool. That's very neat.
East Coast. I'm gonna throw up a gang sign for East Coast. East Coast. How does that look like?
Is that it?
I don't know. I made it up.
It kind of looks like your logo. I can't see your logo, or is it? Yeah.
And you're West Coast.
West Coast. What up?
What cards did you pull for us today, Danny? Because you've got some good ones.
It was. So I got 3 cards, and when you were talking about your fire, I was thinking, oh, wow, cool. So I guess the next seminar she's going to have is air, and then the next one is water, and then the next one is winter, and I got the winter gestation card. And I looked at that and I went, ooh, I see cold. That's kind of where I am right now. The 3 cards I pulled thinking about this show is the Shamanic Journey. And we're talking about dreams. Yes. So you were asking me, you want to talk about dreams? And I go, sure, I know nothing about them because I can't remember any of them. I know I have them. And sometimes I wake up and I go, man, what did I do in my dream? Because I'm exhausted, right? So there's that element to it, the gestation period of just kind of settling back. And like when you go to sleep, you're rebuilding, you're getting ready to do something new that's going to be really hard or really easy or require a lot of whatever. And so I thought that was a great card. And the last card I got was Magdalene de Mur. In this Shamanic Journey card, it's the cetacean whale, and it's the parallel time stream. So we think we're on this time stream, but when we go into sleep, we get to shift into another time stream, or what up time stream, another 3 or 4, which that's kind of like an interesting concept. How many time streams can we jump in one dream?
Are you asking me that question? Because it feels like it could be infinity, depending on how long you sleep.
And it feels like that is some of the control that we need to bring into that, so that we can see what time stream or manage what time stream. The last card I got was Magdalene de la Mer, and this is Mary of the Sea. This is beautiful shell woman of the West. And this says, go forward, leave the past behind. And I love that these cards bookmark each other a little bit, because we have Mary of the Sea, and we have the cetacean whale. So both really healing energies. And what Magdalene de la Mer says is, let go of those past traumas, the things that no longer serve us, and leave that behind, move forward.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I have many answers.
I know you do. That's why I'm asking you this question. So what to you is the difference between a dream and a shamanic journey? Because that was the first card you pulled, was about the parallel time stream, but it was about the journey for you.
Yeah. The shamanic journey is, it's probably more of a lucid type dream that we were talking about. And in that we get to have some control over the dream, the journey, and we have that control with our intention. So when we pick up our drum, when we pick up our rattle, when we pick up something that gets us on the path, we set our intention, and that intention gets repeated as our monkey brain comes in. No offense to monkeys, but as our brain starts switching and saying, "Oh, don't forget you left, the stove on," or "Don't forget you did," okay, got it. No, I didn't. It's all taken care of. But well, maybe you should check the stove. But yeah. So when we start getting external thoughts in, we just repeat the intention, and that focuses the journey. That focuses the dream state that we go into, and we from there, I guess that is the control aspect, and then we allow what happens to happen, hopefully not controlling what we're seeing, but we get to have a little bit of control to it, where I think dreams, and I would have to ask you this because I can't really remember my dreams, because my intention before I go to bed is not that clear. But I think with dreams, it feels like, for me, I'm in a pinball machine a little bit, and I'm bouncing around, and I don't have any control as to where I'm going or what's happening externally. And if I'm remembering correctly, even what I say, I don't know if I have that much control over. But I rarely remember my dreams.
I can't say for sure that I've ever had a lucid dream. I always have either journeys that I have intentionally got into, and I'm in control of my consciousness, not necessarily the messages that I receive, but I'm in control of my consciousness.
Correct.
While I'm in the journey. Or I'm in a dream where I'm completely out of control of everything that's happening, and it's chaos. Like you said, that bouncing around, it's just chaos. But what I'm picking up through guidance, and also through the amazing cards that you pulled today, is that dreams essentially have two purposes. One is healing and processing. That helps us with decision making. It helps us process our fears and everything that we're going through. It helps us process our old trauma, so you can actually heal through your dreams.
Yeah.
And to manifest. Dreams help us manifest, and I think we'll get into that a little bit, because I have nightmares and scary stories we can talk about.
Uh-oh.
But I think you also would have a third purpose for that, and that is to shut off. Because you say you don't want to set intentions before you go to bed, you just want to sleep. But does your consciousness ever really shut off, or do you just not remember?
Yeah, right. And just a little clarification. Every night I set an intention. I'll throw a card or 3 because I'm greedy. I'm going to throw 1 card. Okay, I'm going to throw another. So, but I don't throw too many, I hope. But that sets an intention as well. And I use that for if when my brain starts going too much and I wake up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and I'm thinking of stupid stuff, that I can't fix, that I can't do anything about at 2 a.m. I'm not getting out of bed to do anything, right? So it's just chattering in there. I focus on the card that drops me back into sleep. So that helps. But you said something. Let me see if I can remember what you were saying with I can't remember. I should have taken notes. Whenever I listen to you, by the way, I feel like I should be taking notes.
That's okay. I do that for you also. I've taken quite a few notes here in the few minutes that you've been talking about your cards. I take notes. I think that's a fun thing to do with your friends.
Yes. But
that way you quote them
you were saying something about the journey, the shamanic journey that I can't remember. But just a little side note then with this is that with the shamanic journey, you set your intention and then you let it go.
Yeah.
And so you don't control it. For me, I don't control any more of what's going on in the journey. So if I'm going to meet, let's say my power animal, so I go into this place, beautiful place in nature, and I look around and I invite my power animal to show up. I invite anybody to show up and they show up. And then I have a conversation with them. So I'm still focused on, I can ask them questions. Are you my power animal? And they will give you either a yes, a no, get on my back, and we'll take you. So, yeah. Anyway, so you get to direct it a little bit. It's not the pinball thing in the dream, because in the dream I'll go, okay, I don't like this. I remember with scary dreams or something. I don't like this, or I like more of this, and then it's not in my control.
Not at all. But there's a reason for all of the chaos. There's
I remember. You were talking sorry. You were talking about healing in dreams.
Yeah.
So what does that look like to you as a healer? How does healing in dreams, how do you see that working?
Well, I work as a healer, but I still need healing also. And I do a lot in dreams. My mother, who's passed on now, she used to have prophetic dreams. Like that was one of her gifts. And I have a lot of dreams as well. I've had some prophetic dreams. I've had dreams about family members that I had the feeling were prophetic, but I wasn't able to fully interpret. And I think I haven't been able to fully interpret those because they're not done yet. They're still taking place.
Right.
And then I do a lot of work in the dream weave itself. And at this part of myself, I've realized that when I have nights where the monkey mind is happening, where I'm like working in my brain constantly, like, you know, where I'm dreaming that I'm doing my work, where I'm dreaming that I'm typing up emails and planning things and doing all of the work, I know now to let myself do that, not to try to get up or take a sleeping pill or something like that. I know I'm going to be tired the next day, but that's my allowance and my gentleness to myself. I know I'm going to be tired and I'm going to allow myself to be tired tomorrow, because what's actually happening is that I'm letting my subconscious do all of the thinking that I would have to do while I'm conscious. And if I allow that to happen, then when I do get recovered and back to it, then everything's going to flow more easily. My planning processes, my schedules, everything that I'm trying to create, I'm going to have a more stable structure because my subconscious has now sorted out all the stuff that needed to be sorted. And now I can move forward appropriately.
So you made your mistakes in your dream.
Yeah. And then like I do them over and over again. I just realized that light wasn't on and I'm like, why is my face only half lit? I'm not getting it. But yeah, it is. It's just letting everything process through that needs to process.
Okay. I can see that. I also think that there's a lot of healing in that dream state where that you can, you just, well, as the card was saying, you just let go of some things. You become aware of some things that you're hanging on to too much, that you just need to let go so that you can move forward. And it may take 2 or 3 dreams because you're going, oh, that's not me. That's not me. I don't do that. That's not what I'm about. And then you go, oh yeah, that's what I'm about. That's me. Yeah.
And that can happen in that can look like a few different things. So
Sure.
For instance, I'm somebody who over the years, the last 20 years, I've been healing through post-traumatic stress disorder. And people who follow my channel might know this already. So some of my dreams are literally about another person from my past or someone who represents that person, you know, like something bad happening somewhere where I'm in danger, somewhere where there's a lot of fear, but there's people in that dream that represent that lack of safety and that fear. And that's because that trauma has still been there, and it's allowing me to process through, to relive certain things and let them bubble up to the surface, either to look at or to purge out so that I get them out of me.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, this could look more like symbology. For instance, like how many of us have that repeating dream of our spouse cheating on us or kissing someone else in front of us? You know, like there's lots of, Danny's like, no, I just don't dream, guys.
Oh, and yeah, no.
No, I don't dream. But those sorts of dreams, you know, that has nothing to do. That's not a prophecy. You know, you don't wake up and you're like, I'm mad at you because you did this. That's like a symbolic dream. It's showing you where your abandonment wounds are and where your insecurities are and the things that you need to heal inside of yourself. So it dreams just like take all the garbage that's there and go, whoosh, look at this and get rid of it, or let me purge it.
Yeah. I agree, 100%. And the PTSD I mean, we're dealing with that in our political current U.S. cycle right now. We're dealing with that in a lot of different ways right now, and it's good to be able to somehow purge that so it doesn't keep affecting us, even though it feels like it's a sledgehammer coming at us all the time. But we can use dreams and that even the lucid dreams, the shamanic journey aspects of that, to let whatever that triggering mechanism is for you that's kicking you off into negativity land, we can use that to go into joy land. And when we're in that joy land, even for that dreamland for half hour, whatever it is, that is healing. Just being in pure joy is healing. And then you come back to reality and go, oh my God, I got to go back to sleep. I got to go back to dreamland. But yeah, it does heal us in that way. Yeah.
There's this recurring dream that I have had for, like, let's say I was having it for 8 years, right? And in that dream, I was always in one of my old houses that I used to live in near Myrtle Beach. And this was like a 2-story house with farmland. It was back where I had my farm animals and everything like that. And I would go back to that house in my dream, and there was always a wing of the house that didn't exist like in real life. It was just there in dream life. And I would always try to go to that part of the house in my dream, but it was always haunted. Like there would be things.
I knew this was going to be the scary part.
He's like, yes. There would be things floating or like ghosts there jerking me off of beds. And there was always things floating in that part of the house. And the dreams were always different, but the underlying theme was the same, that the place was haunted. And it seems obvious when you're speaking about it out loud that that place was haunting me, or there's something in my past that was haunting me. I'm haunted, right? But that wasn't something that I could actively heal in my conscious thoughts, because consciously I had already healed any traumas or frustrations or irritations that happened while I was living in that house. But it wasn't about the physical. It was about the metaphysical. It was about the spiritual. And one day, very recently, actually, like this year, I had that same recurring dream again. And I went into that wing of the house and everything looked good. There was no ghosts. Everything looked great. I went up into the attic of the house.
Oh, you're brave. Oh my God, don't go in the attic. Don't.
Well, the attic was like more rooms with windows. But I went up into the attic of the house and realized that I was moving out, that I was like selling the house. And when I was up in the attic, I looked out of the window and there was a dead body in the ditch outside of the house. And when I was talking to the other person in the dream who I was selling the house to, I was like, yeah, there's some dead bodies out there, but the house isn't haunted anymore. It feels really good in here, and those bodies will just wash away. And so when I woke up out of that dream, like logically, I should have been like, wow, that was a really weird, scary dream. But I wasn't. I woke up feeling happy and free and empowered because all the dead stuff that was stuck in my subconscious, I had finally spiritually grown to a space where it was all just purged out.
Yeah.
And it was just going to wash away. So
You're so brave. You're so brave. Going up into the attic, I'd be like, no, I'm staying down here. But that's cool. That's cool because a lot of times when we move through our lives spiritually, it seems like we're not moving.
Hmm.
It seems like we're not healing. We're not accomplishing anything. It's in such another time stream than 3D time. And spiritually, it may be leaps and bounds in that time stream, but here it's like, I don't know, nothing's changed, but in reality, a lot has. So I love that. I love that metaphor that the body was out in the ditch.
It was just a dead body floating in the water of the ditch. A woman, and it was crazy. I was like, don't mind the body; it'll wash away.
It'll go away. Yeah, don't worry. Ignore the body in the ditch, the realtor says.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's great. And when you were recounting the story, I was thinking, well, maybe, there's a lot going on in there, and to be a dream analysis, have a dream analysis of that. Some of these people that just study dreams all the time, I'd be interested to see what their take is on that. But it just feels like, yeah, you finally let go of something. You moved on past whatever it was in that house that was scary. And I want to know, who put the body in the ditch? Was that you? Did you go, come on, time for you to leave, and you put the body in the ditch to be washed away? Are you that brave that you would pick up a dead body and put it in a ditch to be washed away? I think you could be that brave. You're pretty brave.
I don't think I should say that out loud on camera.
Okay.
FBI might show up at my door, and I'll have to deny.
He made me say it. Go to his door.
West Coast, go that way.
Yeah.
Danny Shay, plead the fifth.
What's that?
I said plead the fifth. But what I will say is that I tell people a good bit, when they have dreams, there are certain things that really represent other things, like being in some sort of vehicle in your dream represents you going from one place to another. But a lot of the time, whatever chaos is happening in your dream, it doesn't even have anything to do with reality. It's not the visual representation of what's in your dream that always creates the healing. It's whatever you emotionally take away from it. So I can have a dream about a cheeseburger turning into a spider and attaching itself to my head. But when I wake up, while I'm getting dressed and while I'm preparing for the day, if I'm actually find my monkey mind, as you said, thinking about a particular person or a particular circumstance or having a particular memory, then I know that this is actually what that chaotic dream was trying to bring to the surface for me to look at and process and figure out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. The whole thing, when you're saying that, my monkey mind went to all the synchronicities that show up and how many times that I will go, oh, look, synchronicity, and move on from it, versus going, oh, look, synchronicity, what was I just thinking about? And it may have some importance, it may not.
Mm-hmm.
But just to gloss it over, I think is, I think I'm missing some information, as if I would have just thought about, well, what was I just thinking about there? Just a little, retouch on what I was thinking. What do you got? Oh, I want to ask you a question before you do that. May I? I'll pay you money if you let me ask a question.
I love money.
I know.
I'm kidding. What is it?
So one of the things that we didn't get into Earth and Stars wellness. When you're in a vehicle in your dream, and it's a spaceship.
You know, I actually was going to bring that up, but I thought if you wanted to talk about it, you would.
I want to talk about
it. Because this was your dream last night?
This was my dream 2 nights ago. That I said, oh, I'm going to remember this when I woke up. And then I went back to sleep, had the continuing dream, which was really cool. And then I said, oh, I'm going to remember this because I got a name, and I never get names. I got a name of my my guides that were in this journey, in this dream with me. And I think I have the first letter of the name.
That you can remember.
That's all I can remember. What?
Maybe it'll come back.
Oh,
maybe when you go to sleep, it'll come back to you.
No, it will. Yeah, I know it will. I'll work on it. I'm going to go meet him again. I'm going to go do a journey and meet him again. So they may come up with another name because I don't think they're as attached to names as we are.
They're not, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, I think, of course, any vehicle is showing you how you're moving forward or moving from one place to another. So a spaceship, this seems to be connecting your Earth self to the star realms, so maybe other dimensional spaces, maybe with your ET work, but it also could be talking about destiny. And that's what I found interesting, because right before you asked the question, or when you were still talking about your other story, I was guided to pull one card, and then it was like, but also pull the 2 behind it. And when I did, what I pulled, interestingly, this one I think has to do with the manifestation in dreams, which we're about to talk about. But then Mount Shasta and Shine Your Light came up, and Shine Your Light is my event. Because I shine, and yours is Mount Shasta, where you're going to be. So with this specific card with Mount Shasta, though, while this could be talking about, I feel like this is going to be like a defining moment for you. Like there's going to be something around that space that connects you into your personal alien DNA, that connects you into your personal destiny, the things that like your inner chromosomal stuff is going to click into your destiny space.
Yeah.
While you're there. Because this is like, even though this card says Mount Shasta, what it's really talking about is going home.
I agree. And the thing with Mount Shasta, because I've been there numerous times, not nearly enough. I mean, I just love that energy of that place. But every time I go there, my DNA gets adjusted and changed every single time. This time when I go, I am not going as somebody that has organized it and planned it. I'm going just as, in my mind, as someone who's just going to show up and do some work and just be there. So I hope that my intention is that I will have enough quiet time, although I'm not seeing that in the schedule, that I'll have enough quiet time to absorb some of this stuff, what's happening. When I went to Chaco, there was so much to see, and we kept going and going and going. And both of us said during the middle of it and at the end of it, we need more quiet time. We need more just sitting on a rock time that we didn't get. So now now I got to go back.
Darn it.
Darn. So what was the first card that you threw?
It was the manifestation. Well, this specific card is your sacral chakra, which is the core of your creation, where you manifest from. And that's the other thing that we believe you can get from working with the Dreamweave, is the ability to manifest.
Yeah. And your event being about fire and sun.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Yeah. that to me, when I look at that and I go, should I get on an airplane and go? Should I try to do this? And I go, the first thought was, that's going to crack you open, Danny, so much. You're going to be, that's really, really powerful. I think your event is going to be good. And I still don't think I'd walk on fire, but I'm a chicken.
You wouldn't.
And I hear that this guy is doing it is phenomenal.
Where'd you hear that from? He is phenomenal. He's really, really good. And he's so laid back too. He's really calm, chill, loving. He's great.
Does he have foot ointment for, no, I'm kidding.
We do have a nurse on staff, but I've already cheated the system. Okay. So like, I like to hear me out. I like to get pedicures before I go to events, right? You know, just so I'm looking on point. So I'm looking sharp. Not this time. I'm keeping my calluses. I'm walking across on some callus.
I'd be walking in asbestos boots, but that's just me. I'm chicken. That would be the worst way I could go. Now,
through fire.
Yeah, underwater.
Mm-mm.
I'm fine.
No.
Sharks, I'm fine. Chum, I'm fine with that.
I'm learning a lot about you, Danny.
Fire.
Chow me up. Carry the body.
Ignore the body at the bottom of the ocean. The little crabs will come and eat his eyes out, and off he goes.
I'm learning a lot. I'm gonna have to get in touch with your wife. We're gonna have a conversation about you. But let's talk about that manifestation through dreams, because the dream weave, which is, you know, just dreamland, essentially, it's the space between like the astral realms and our reality. Mm-hmm. To me, it's like an in-between place that things can come through, which is why if you have a lot of fear dreams and you're not actively healing those or processing those fears, those things become your reality.
Yes.
But
I love that statement. It's so true. And people, I don't know if they just ignore it or what, but if you keep thinking that fear, it will become your reality.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry. And then shamans, as you know, they also have something that they call dreaming, or mm-hmm. dreaming the new world, where they use the word dream synonymous with manifestation, because you can set your intention before going to sleep of something that you want to create or something you want to do. And that becomes the thing that your subconscious mind ruminates on and grows on. But in order for that to happen, or for you to even have space in your subconscious for that, you have to do that clearing and healing work first, or else the gunk is taking up all the room and you can't dream that way.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is really important in this dreaming a world into being, how you want to bring something into your reality, is to because we are 3D, because we are human, and because we are having this emotional experience on this planet, which is the most wonderful thing about this planet, is our emotions. It's important to attach your emotions to this dream that you want to have. right? So if you're attaching fear to it, no, don't do that. So you attach joy, you attach happiness, and you really feel that, back into your solar plexus. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That is beautiful. That's like the coup de grace of manifestation, is attaching emotion to it. You know, you can almost have any affirmation you want, but if you don't actually believe the affirmation or have any emotion attached to the affirmation, it's not going to create change.
Correct.
So it's the same thing with this. When you journey or have dreams about the things that you want to manifest, having that emotion too, because you can even have dreams about positive things with a negative emotion attached to it, and
Yes.
you're creating negativity.
Yes. And you go, well, I wasn't thinking anything negative, damn it. Right? You know, so they would attach some negative, they would attach some negative thing to it, and we don't even know that we're attaching that negative thing. And that's where having somebody look at that from an outside perspective and kind of call it out a little bit in a loving way, of course, but because for me, I'm a guy, I can deal with this. I don't need any help. I am, I got this. But that's not necessarily true. It's good to have the outside view to come in and say, no, you don't have it as well as you think you do. Or you do have it as well as you think you do.
Speaking of fear and what we attach to fear, there are certain beings that live in the dream weave or exist in the dream weave from time to time. And I think that we attach a lot of negative emotion to some of these beings and positive emotion to other beings, where we should be coming from it all and from a space of positivity or neutrality. So, like, for instance, in the dream weave, the things that are causing our processing or our ability to heal are things that create chaos and emotional upheaval, because then we know to look at something, right? If nothing happens, we don't know we have to look at anything. So these beings are like dark elementals, banshees, parasites, incubus, succubus, shadow figures, and then we have different archetypes, and there's like Loki and Coyote. What's that one African with the spider? Anansi, something like that. There's like a spider one that I have seen that lives in the dream realm. And all of these have different meanings, like different things that they do, but they're all kind of creating this chaos for us to look at something in order to process. Do you want to say anything before we get into like the positive ones? You're like, I don't want to talk about that.
Was there a question in there?
I just asked if you had something to say about the scary ones.
I think so. In my space right now, there have been a lot of things that I've been afraid of in the astral world, and I am looking at them in a way that saying, okay, that's a little scary to me. I'm not going to look at you anymore. Versus, okay, that's a little different. I have not seen that before. Let me look at it a different way. Let me look at it a little closer. So there's one where I don't even want to look at it. And then there's the other one where I want to look at it a different way. For me in this, though, it still takes a healthy dose of protection and mindfulness in dream world. I don't know, where I'm just not walking in and fully accepting whatever is coming at me. It's let's talk. Let's sit down. Let's have a cup of whatever drink we'll be having in the astral.
Yeah.
And but there are certain things that, you know, I wake up when I remember saying this to Dr. Gale. I go, oh my God, there was a huge creature outside my door, my bedroom door. It was huge. And it scared me a little bit. And then, you know, we were talking and I go, but it wasn't scary at all. It wasn't scary at all.
Mm-hmm.
Some other things happened in that nighttime that made me go, it was all about love. It just looked big and way bigger than it fit in my room. It was like, how'd you get in here? But you know, it couldn't even, it was taller than the ceiling and had to bend over. It was bizarre. And I go, that should freak me out. That should scare the hell out of me. But it didn't. So looking at these things, and you mentioned coyote, and people go, oh, it's the trickster energy. And I go, it's just showing you a different way. But you got to be careful of the trick. But it's just showing you a different path that you can do. Maybe it's just not straight ahead. Maybe you need to go sideways or around. But still, pay attention to the trick. He may be playing a trick on you. So anyway.
And that's the whole point. You know, the coyote, he teaches through folly. So he's teaching us to expand our mind to find the way around.
Yeah.
So the whole point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if we focus on the fear of it and what's happening, then we miss the other part of what's happening.
Yes.
Like even parasites that live in the dream weave, for instance, obviously we don't want a parasite on us, but because we don't want a parasite on us, we do the healing work.
But when people got sick in the olden times, they would put leeches on them and they were healers.
Exactly. And they had to endure the leeching in order to be healed. However accurate or inaccurate that ended up being later on down the road.
Yeah, right. I still see the African Queen movie when they're pulling their ship through this river and they're covered in leeches. It's like, oh my God. Oh. Ugh.
Parasites in the dream weave, their only job is to drain you of your energy and then amplify your negative feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's their job, to amplify your negative feelings. So obviously we don't want a parasite on us, but when we look at what's causing the negative feelings or the negative feelings that are there and address that, you lose the parasite and then we're more healed.
So do you think that parasite is attracted to the negative energy that we're not looking at?
Oh, absolutely.
So are they here to do they have a higher goal in mind? Or are they just parasites and they go, ooh, I like that. It's like rotten fruit. I'm going to go eat it.
Here's my outlook on all entities, positive or negative. For us, it's all for our greater good.
Okay, good.
From our perspective. From their perspective, they've got a job and they do it well.
Eating rotten fruit.
Right. But then we also have like the positive things, or the things that we deem positive in those shadow realms, such as like dream guardians, dream teachers, ancestor spirits, spirit animals. Like these are all those things that you're talking about that guide us and teach us and protect us. So even while we're walking amongst the things that are showing us where our fears are or where our wounds are, we still have these other things in the dream realm that are making sure we don't like actually die or, like things like that, that we come back with a lesson when we wake up.
Yeah. And I like the image that you said with the parasites, that they amplify what we're not looking at so much, so that we can see it, so that we don't like just keep going on and not look at it and do the work to get rid of it. Cool.
Absolutely. I think that one of my favorite things about working between realms, so you called it like the parallel time stream, and I think you'll be able to get this, is that for every elemental, there's a dark elemental that lives in the dream realm. For every power animal or figure that's on earth or in consciousness, there's also a shadow figure or a shadow animal that lives in the collective unconscious. And it's not always because they're bad or negative, it's because the shadow is our unconscious. And how we work between both realms at the same time, simultaneously, our conscious with the light and our subconscious or unconscious with the shadow realms.
Yeah. I've never heard it that way or thought of it like that. The way that I think of it is the polarities of things. And so if you're only focused on the good dream, Glenda the good witch, right? Then, the wicked which of the, what is it, the I don't know. But the bad witch is still there. But if you can take something from both of them, from both the good and the bad, and not judge it so much, because we judge bad as bad, right? Good is good. But if we take something from both and blend them together, magic. Then we have magic, and it's not, to me it's not good or bad. There's no judgment to what it is. It just is. And then you take what you can to blend them together, and that's pretty powerful.
It really is.
And it's hard to explain.
It's like bringing, because within our unconscious is where all of our like true power is that we don't really realize. So when we can take all of that power and blend it with the knowing of our destiny and where we're going with everything, then that magic becomes empowering destiny, not just like only power or only destiny. It's both. And it becomes a very big, beautiful thing.
Yeah. Big, beautiful thing.
That wasn't, okay, yeah. Yeah, I said that correctly. I was like, did I say something sexual by accident? I have to watch myself. Sometimes I say things like that by accident, but we're good. But the point, guys, is in your dream realms, pay attention to your dreams. Let yourself heal through your dreams so that you can begin to manifest. You don't want the fear crawling out of your dreams and affecting your life. You want that power and that beauty to crawl out of your dreams and recreate the life of your dreams, the life that you want. You get to dream. You get to weave your dreams in the dream weave.
Yeah. One of the things, too, that in journeys is if something shows up and it doesn't feel good to you, you can say, go away. You can bring in another power animal, helping spirit, to stay with you, to make sure that you're safe. So in the dream state, you can you can say, go away, stop doing this to me. Somebody I know, who I won't mention names, has horrific nightmares. And I go, tell them to stop. Why are you letting them do that? Tell them to stop. And, I'm not sure if that person does it, but yeah, and I go, before you go to sleep, say good dreams, not nasty, crazy dreams. Even though we're talking about some of those can be beneficial, some of those are also like not serving.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's actually can be part of the empowerment process, is learning how you can stand up and say, no, this is not what I want or what I'll tolerate anymore. We're not powerless just
Yes.
because we're in the dream realm. So absolutely, that's an important thing to bring up. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about today that you think important to bring forward for people?
I don't know. I don't have any pressing things. But I was holding on to my obsidian when you were talking about the dark evil.
Well,
what do you have to say for the final?
For the coup de grace. Here at the end, what's kind of coming into my awareness, because these are the last two cards I pulled, which is the ether and then gracious receptivity, is that a very powerful, kind of going more in line with what you were saying about empowerment through all of this, is how much self-love and gratefulness can change your vibration.
Yeah.
And being gentle with yourself through all of the processes of manifestation and healing through your dreams.
Yeah. I think that, and even if you just say, let go of in our dreams, the process of manifestation is, be gentle on yourself. It's a roller coaster ride. You think you're like moving forward, and then you find yourself moving back, and you go, oh, I'm still attached to that, or I'm still thinking about that area that is really triggering me and making me sad and hurt and blah, blah, blah. Be gentle with yourself. You're moving forward. We are all moving forward in this path. And in those dark times, that's where we open up so much when we get past that. We are psychically, our true self opens up, which I think is the psychic realm that opens up. And so it's, I really liked what you said, just be, gentle with yourself with the manifestation.
Beautiful. I think we had a really good talk.
I think we did. I hope you pushed record.
Yes, I did. I did. That actually has happened to me, where I've recorded for like an hour and a half, and then realized that it wasn't recording because my storage was full. So
I did that with Linda G. We did a whole show.
Did you make it back up?
I had to be very gentle with myself.
Was this on your channel?
On my channel.
You did it.
Don't point your finger at me.
Like all of them.
I'm like, oh my God. It was a really good show too. Anyway, enough.
Well, thanks so much for being here with us again today, Mr.
Thank you,
Shay.
Mary.
We always enjoy it.
Yay. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope it all helps. Bye.
Bye-bye.